Welcome back to My Block Jags. I am Danelle Scurry. And last night, Thursday Night Football prime time, we just looked horrible, man. We lost to the Miami Dolphins 31-13. Jaguars completely laid a whole goose egg national for everyone to see. And they got whatever everyone thought that we were, that's exactly what we were. Because we didn't prove no one wrong last night. We just looked bad altogether, offense and defense. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. I have no idea. It's multiple things, but something has to change, man. As a fan, as somebody who covers the team, something has to change, man. We just look bad. We look horrible. Let's start off with the first drive. The very first drive. I don't know if I think we won the coin toss, but we deferred. So we kicked the ball off to Miami, went right down the field. Third game in a row when they drove right down the field and scored with no problem, just passed on us. Nobody in that secondary could do anything. We made 37-year-old Ryan Fitzpatrick look like goddamn Peyton Manning. Like, it's crazy. Everybody the last three teams we played, the very first drive, our secondary made them look excellent. Excellent. They have a first-round pick, Tua sitting on the bench, and they made Ryan Fitzpatrick look like he's the guy for the near future. And you know what I'm saying? Like, Tua looked like he just needed to sit comfortable how Ryan Fitzpatrick was playing last night. It's crazy. From Phillip Rivers to Ryan Tannehill to now Ryan Fitzpatrick, all three of these guys look excellent. Excellent passing on us. Especially on the first drive. All three of them look great pass ons because we had no pass rush. We had nobody in the secondary stepping up. And they went right down the field, scored. Third game in a row, 3 weeks in a row. They went right down the field and scored. I don't know what the secondary is doing. Our safeties, we really need help in the secondary. Bad. Well, again, I'm going to keep mentioning this. We traded Ronnie Harrison because supposedly the team was trying to convince us the guy behind him was better. Jones, they were trying to convince us that he's better than Ronnie Harrison. So we trade Ronnie Harrison, and our secondary, to be honest, looks worse. And I'm not saying Ronnie Harrison was the best. He was all pro, all that. My whole thing was he was a starter, and he was more talented than the guy that we have playing now. That's my whole thing. And the guys we have out there now don't look good. CJ Henderson got picked on all game. All game. They were just Devontae Parker. I think he got 5 catches, 69 yards, and CJ Henderson was guarding him. Grant, little ass Grant, number 19 for Miami. He caught a nice little out route. Not an out route, curl, came back to the ball. Fell on the ground, and CJ Henderson just stood over him. And his little ass got up and ran for like another 4 or 5 yards. His fast ass got up and ran for like another 4 or 5 yards. And CJ didn't touch him. That's a mental mistake, bro. You're not in college no more. You're not in college no more, bro. You have to put your hands on him when he's on the ground. You have to, you know what I'm saying? You have to hit him or do something. You can't just stand there, you know what I'm saying, and slap your hands. That was a mental mistake. Just our secondary, all in, no pass rush. No pass rush from Chase Young to Josh Allen. Nothing up the middle. Absolutely nothing up the middle. Taven Bryant, Arbor Jones, even our Ricky Hamilton. Nobody got any pass rush up the middle. We got 1 sack. Josh Allen got a sack. So now that's 2 sacks on the year from our D linemen and 3 sacks on the year, period. Miles Jack had a sack, and Chase Young has a sack. Josh Allen has a sack. Those are the only 3 sacks that we have this whole season in these three games. We literally got a sack a game. 1 sack a game. It's just bad, man. Bad from coverage, bad from pass rush, bad from play calling. Todd Walsh, what are you doing? The touchdown to the tight end, they were in zone. I don't know who was supposed to cover that area. I don't know if CJ Henderson was supposed to cover that because you could tell he's covering the flats. His eyes was in the backfield on the quarterback. It was obvious it was a zone. I don't know if the safety was supposed to slide over and get that once, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what that was, but it was bad. It was bad. Threw the ball right over CJ Henderson, right over his head, dropped it right in the window. Touchdown. Easy. Easy buckets. Like it just seems like we have no urgency. No, it seems like our defense is putting in no effort. Zero effort to go out there and play. It's like, bro, like, did y'all even know we had a game? It's like they just like they woke up Wednesday and it's like, oh yeah, y'all gotta play prime time tomorrow. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Offensively, Minshew looked bad. Minshew looked horrible, man. He was 30 of 42, 275 yards, one interception, and one fumble. Fumbled the ball, I want to say in the 10. In our 10-yard line, they recovered it right away there in the red zone. He just looked bad to the point to where he looked what it was last year when I think it was Sam Darnold was like, I'm seeing ghosts. That's how Minshew looked. He literally looks like that. Because it's like he's holding the ball and he's looking downfield, but he's not throwing it. And a lot of those sacks came from him not throwing. It's not from the offensive line. The offensive line is actually blocking pretty well. It's not from the offensive line. It's from Minshew not throwing the ball. And it's like, bro, is Chart our whole offense? Is our whole offense designed around Chart? Because he didn't play. And it seemed like since Chart didn't play, we didn't know what the fuck to do. Minshew didn't know who to throw it to. He was just looking downfield. There was so many times he would just look, and don't throw the ball. And would take a sack or would rush the ball to the flat. And he would just look. And it was like, bro, throw the ball. And the one time he threw the ball downfield twice. He threw it one time in triple coverage. Why did you even, I don't know who it was to, but it was to the left side. He threw it in triple coverage. Why? Like, there was no reason for him to throw it in triple coverage. It was a safety, I think the nickel corner and the whatever corner was covering him. They just all to be in the area, and he just launched it downfield. Granted, he overthrew him, but it was crazy. And then you had the one play where Conley was wide open, and I don't know if Conley slowed up or what the situation was, but he was wide open, and it was just an overthrown pass. So I'm not sure if Conley stumbled or something, or just Minshew just overshot the ball. But it was the only 2 times he threw the ball downfield that I can remember. It just looked bad, bro. He just looked horrible. Speaking of Conley, since I brought him up, 2 big drops that killed our drives. It's like, we looked at Conley last year to be the number 2. Chart obviously made himself the number 1. Conley looked like a solid number 2. And then when it's time for him to step up to be the number 1 for this game, he showed us he couldn't. Showed us he couldn't do it. Showed us he could not be that guy for us. 2 big drops. Just did not look good, man. I didn't understand what Conley was doing. He just did not look good. I want to say he even had an offensive pass interference. Like, I think he had an offensive pass interference. I'm not sure, but he just didn't look good. He didn't show up. Like, nobody on offense would. So when our number 1 receiver Chark is out, you're supposed to think, all right, somebody's supposed to step up. Keenan Cole, who I'm not even gonna lie, he's been the best receiver we had this year, which is crazy because I said this before. I thought he was gonna get cut. When he picked up all these receivers in the offseason, I thought for sure Keenan Cole was gonna get cut off the rip. I was like, there's no way we're gonna keep him because how he played last year. But to me, he looks like the best receiver we got. Because everything that comes his way, he's catching, and he's making nice catches, and he's the one showing up. You got Chenault, who's a rookie. We got him running the ball. We got him we got him receiving the ball. He looks good. You know what I'm saying? He looks like what we thought he was gonna look like when we drafted him. You know what I'm saying? But he's a rookie. We can't put everything on his shoulders. So it looked like Keenan Cole's the only guy that's stepping up. Conley, who's getting paid the most out of all these guys. He's just mailing it in. Like he's just mailing it in. And he came from a winning organization with Kansas City. So you would think he would have that motivation, and by him being a veteran, he will understand the importance of winning a game, especially prime time, especially nationally. You know what I'm saying? Especially, you know what I'm saying, when we're around when we have a whole bunch of young people on our offensive side of the ball and in your receiver group and your position group. You'll think he'll put the emphasis of, you know what I'm saying, we got to stay urgent, we got to step up, you know what I'm saying, we got to put in the work. He didn't last night. I mean, he just looked bad. He looked horrible. We abandoned the run. James Robinson, he had 11 rushes for 46 yards and 2 touchdowns. We abandoned the run. Granted, we fell 14-0 in the first quarter. When we scored, we ended up scoring. James Robinson ended up scoring a touchdown. Boom, it was 17-14. We should have, in my opinion, just to help our defense out, we should have went to the run. We should have kept going to the run earlier because our defense was on the field too much, and our offense, it was like a lot of quick, like I think our offense was on the field for like a quick minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then boom, our defense back out. They'll either have a 3-play drive, 4-play drive, 5-play drive, and boom, we're punting or something. So I felt like we should have kept going with the run a little bit more. Because at one point we was only down 7 points. There was no need to go in urgency mode and just, you know what I'm saying, quickly put the ball in the air. They couldn't stop our run, vice versa, we couldn't stop them. But so it was no run defense on both sides. But I felt like we abandoned the run too early. And when we abandoned the run too early, we put more on Minshew's plate than what needed to be. And that's how we fell behind even more. Because now if he can't make it happen and we end up falling further and further down, there's no way you can run the ball. And I honestly think we abandoned the run too early. I felt like we should have kept running the ball. I felt like we should have kept doing something with Robinson, with Thompson, with Chenault. We should have kept trying to run the ball. At least mix it up. At least slow down. Give us a little bit more time of possession and give our defense a little bit more time to rest. You know what I'm saying? We could have did something like that, but I felt like we just completely abandoned the run. Some of Jay Gruden's play calls to me which is out of 3 games. This is the first game where I noticed he had some questionable play calls. I know we were down. It was like 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 5, and he called a run play. And I didn't think that was a smart play at the time because we're down, I think, 3 scores at the time. And he called the run play. And we're trying to actually get points up. We're trying to catch up. Like we're back playing. We're playing catch up because we're behind. And he calls a run play on 3rd and 5. I want to say this is in the bottom of the 3rd, I think maybe. And then we end up going for it on 4th, and it's 5 wide, and they're showing blitz, and they don't call a timeout. Minshew doesn't audible. Like, it's crazy. They're showing blitz. Minshew hikes the ball. I think Van Noy was right in his face right away. And he ended up taking a sack on 4th down, turnover on downs. So some of the play calling was a little questionable. It was like one. I know for a fact that 3rd down play call I didn't like. And I think it was like 1 or 2 more. I can't think off the top of my head. But I know for a fact this is the first time I seen Jay Gruden's play calling. It's kind of like, I wish he would have done that. I wish he would have called something a little different. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. With Conley being out, D.D. Westbrook, I think this is his first time dressing. And they had him out there catching punts. He even caught a few balls, and it was good to see him. I know he's kind of like, they had him as a healthy scratch the first 2 games of the season, and it was kind of like, are we going to trade him? Like, what are we going to do? It's good to see him. Good to see him out there, you know what I'm saying, participating, getting the ball, and doing what we thought he could do or what he did his rookie year and all that good stuff. It was a lot of bullshit penalties too, though. Like, it was I know the Cam Robinson penalty, even he got thrown out of the game. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I think that was a bullshit call because it's like he's in the bottom of the pile. He's laying on his back. There's a fumble. Miami obviously has the ball. He's trying to get up off the ground. You have 2 reps hovering over him. Literally hovering over him. And I know he's speaking, get off me. He has to be speaking, get off. So you got the ref by his head hovering over him. He's moving the ref's arms so he can get up. The ref again hovers back over him. He moves the ref's arms again. Then he just pushes the ref's arms. Then you have another ref down by his waist, by his legs, and he's trying to get up off the ground. You got 2 grown men on just hovering on top of you when you're trying to get up. What are you gonna do? You're gonna move them out the way. And to me, that's what that was. And it's like, and I know he was saying something. I know he was saying, yo, let me get up, watch out, let me get up, move. And they threw a flag on that. It's like, come on, man. To me, that was a bullshit. That was a bullshit flag. They called a pass interference on Miles Jack. That was fucking horrible. Horrible pass interference on Miles Jack. They called the horse collar on Schobert, and he did grab. He did stick his hands in the back of the pads, but then he let go. As soon as he grabbed, he let go, and I guess it's not a horse. That's not a horse collar tackle. He did grab his horse collar, but he didn't pull him down. He didn't do nothing. He grabbed him, let him go, then make the tackle. So I didn't understand. To me, that was bullshit to me. Honestly, I didn't think that was a good penalty, or that warranted the flag. Honestly, I thought that was bullshit. There was a couple more flags. This is the next day. I'm doing this morning, so I can't remember exactly every penalty last night. But yeah, some of the penalties were kind of like a little bullshitty, and we even had one penalty on us where it was obvious. I want to say it was pass interference, and they threw the flag. Then they huddled up. Then they picked up the flag and didn't give us nothing. And for whatever reason, week after week, year after year, the NFL does not give us nothing when it comes to flags. Last week, Jadeveon Clowney lined up all sides like 4 or 5 times, never threw a flag. This week, we get flags picked up off the ground as you threw it for a reason, bro. You saw what you saw, you threw it. Then y'all huddle up and y'all like, nah, we're not gonna do it. For whatever reason, they never get a Jags. Nothing, bro. We don't catch a break for shit, especially when it comes to the refs. When it comes to the refs, though, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. All together, man, we just played bad. We just played bad. We just played bad. And this is the reason why we have 14 1 o'clock games. Point blank period. This is the reason why we have 14 1 o'clock games. Because when you have your one primetime game as a team, as a small market, as everyone as a fan base saying we're better than what we are, you have to prove that you're better than what you are. You have literally all national media watching this one Thursday night game. You have everybody nationally watching this one Thursday night game, and then you go out there and lay a whole goose egg to where nothing looks good. Offense don't look good. Defense don't look good. You got mental errors from players. It just look bad altogether. This is the reason why we have 14 1 o'clock games. This is the reason why almost every year they have us preseason ranked towards the bottom, 31, 32, 29. This is why every year they have us ranked towards the bottom, because we look horrible. We look bad. Defense, Todd Walsh, how does he still have a job? How does Todd Walsh still have a job? And this is where any other team out there, you got 31 other teams. If the defensive coordinator coached this bad for multiple years, multiple seasons, they would have been lost their job. Jalen's first year in the league, after that first year, he complained. Him and Dante Fowler complained about the scheme that Todd Walsh was running. That was 4 years ago. We're still running whatever scheme that is, and we're not getting no results. I want to say maybe Yannick even spoke about it. It's just like the same. It's like the same. He keeps doing the same thing over and over again. Whatever that scheme is, he keeps doing the same thing over and over again. By us letting go talented players, you're trying to convince us as a fan base that we can do better. So whatever the issue was with Yannick, you're trying to convince us that we can do better. Whatever the issue was with Jalen, you're trying to convince us we can do better. When obviously we can't. We can't cover nobody. As far as and Trayden Harrison, we can't cover nobody in the secondary. We have our young corner he's young, but he's making mental mistakes. You got Herndon, who's to me not that good. And then you're supposed to convince us by whatever the issue was with Ramsey that we're going to do better without him. When we have zero pass rush in 3 games, we have 2 sacks from our D-line, and you trade Yannick, and then you're supposed to convince us that we're going to be better. Makes no sense. We're getting 0 pass rush, but you trade our best pass rusher that we had on the team for the last 3 years, 4 years, and say, no, we can do better without him. Watch. And then you have Chase Young, who barely can get off tackles. You have Josh Allen, who a lot of his sacks last year came from from teams spinning, putting slide blocks on Yannick, which freed him up. So it's like, come on, dog. It's like, I don't understand what the team is doing. Like, are we really trying to win? You had everyone looking at Minshew for the last 2 weeks, like, Minshew can be the guy. He had 6 touchdowns, 1 interception, looked good, everything. Then this week, Minshew struggles, and it's like, dude, we know what we doing. It's like so many questions. Like we go up and down, up and down, up and down. We don't know what to, you know what I'm saying? We don't know what to think when the next game comes. All right, next week we got Cincinnati. How are we supposed to play against Cincinnati? Is Joe Burrow gonna come out here looking like goddamn Andrew Luck his rookie year? Like, how is this supposed to, like, what are we supposed to expect from the team that seems like they can't do nothing right defensively and offensively without our number one receiver we struggle? Like, I'm really, like, this week I was excited to see us play on Thursday night. Next week, I'm not necessarily excited, but I'm anxious to see how the team is going to answer. You know what I'm saying? How are we going to bounce back? Are we going to make the same mistakes that we made this week or the last 3 weeks, the first drive? We're going to make those against a rookie quarterback and actually make him look crazy good. You know what I'm saying? Is our defense going to change? Is our secondary going to step up? Is our safeties going to play better? You know what I'm saying? I'm really looking forward to seeing if they're going to improve. Is Todd Wash going to come out there and do the same bullshit that he's been doing these last 3 weeks, these last 3 years, and we're just going to get rolled over? I really want to see if anything's going to change. Anything's going to change. Well, that's it, man. I mean, that's really all I got. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, especially about how the defense is. I really want to know how everyone feels about the defense. I know for a fact on Twitter, on Facebook, everyone seems to have the same question: why is Todd Wash still have a job? That seems to be the number one asked question. I want to know, does anybody have any answers on that? Like, this is crazy. How does he still have a job coaching the way he's coaching? Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Is it Minshew's fault? Is Minshew the guy? You still think we're tanking? Like, let me know what you guys think about all these things in the comments or on Twitter. I'm on Twitter, ThatBoyScurry, ThatBoyScurry. Let me know there, and like I said, let me know in the comments what you guys think. But until then, that's that.